Hey everyone! We have a Guild Wars 2 studio update that just released today, and I hear it's got some pretty exciting stuff in it, including something about mini expansions. So I wanted to make a video reading through it and getting excited. So let's go. Hello Guild Wars community! Before our holiday break, we wrapped up 2022 by reflecting on what a fantastic year it was for Guild Wars 2. In the time between that studio update and New Year's Day, Guild Wars 2 and the ArenaNet team earned several end-of-year awards from top gaming press, including PC Gamer's Best Ongoing Game, MMORPG's Player's Choice MMORPG of the Year, and Massively OP's Best MMO Studio 2 years in a row. Oh my god, wait, we're still going. Best MMO Expansion and Best MMO Business Model. Those were some exciting presents to unwrap. Again, a heartfelt thank you to our fantastic community for helping make last year the success that it was. Let's do it again! We closed the December studio update with a promise that we'd be back in early 2023 to talk about our long-term plans for Guild Wars 2. Today, we'll be talking about some big changes we're making to how we develop and deliver new content and features, including our approach to expansions, and we'll share our next development roadmap. This blog is absolutely jam-packed with information, so let's dig in. Defining the problem. Since 2021, we've put a renewed emphasis on developing Guild Wars 2 with a player-centric approach, where step one in our development process is to seek out and understand the problems and frustrations that MMO players face. This approach was first adopted at ArenaNet over 20 years ago and is at the core of the continued success of the Guild Wars franchise. The conclusion of the Elder Dragon saga, a story told over the course of a decade, was an opportunity for our team to reflect on our past before moving forward. We evaluated what has and hasn't worked over the years and used those insights to redefine how we develop and release content for our players. Our goals for the next phase of Guild Wars 2 are simple. We want to deliver content updates in a more timely and consistent manner. That instantly makes me think of Season 2, where they were doing like every 2 weeks for a minute there. Woo! And we want to provide a better support for the wide variety of systems and game modes that make up the Guild Wars 2 experience. Having the development bandwidth needed to iterate on core systems is especially important to us, and it's something we've been making headway on over the last year with our quality of life improvement initiative. There are so many systems in Guild Wars 2 that have good bones, and they can be even better with just a bit of love. Just before Valentine's Day, too. The path forward. The first step towards accomplishing these goals was to rebalance how we allocate our development resources across the project. Historically, with few exceptions, Living World seasons have required the focus of nearly the entire Guild Wars 2 development team to deliver them at the size, quality, and cadence that our players expect. This made it difficult to simultaneously develop expansions while supporting the game with regular content updates. It also meant that many areas of the game went under-supported. You know, this is true because, I have always said that, like, a Living World season is, like, equivalent to an expansion. Like, that many maps, that much content and story and rewards and extra stuff to do and explore. It'd be like developing an expansion on top of an expansion, and one that is continuously released every 3 to 4 months, right? So that's always been impressive how they've been able to release those very regularly. So this is interesting. In the next phase of Guild Wars 2's development, we're taking a more balanced approach that will allow us to provide more support for popular game modes, make frequent quality of life improvements to core gameplay systems like professions, deliver new features, and expand the world of Tyria with satisfying immersive story updates. What it means for you. Our future expansions for Guild Wars 2 will be the backbone of this new approach. Future expansions. Rather than launching an expansion every 2 to 4 years with a season of Living World in between, or 2, we'll be releasing smaller expansions more frequently at a slightly reduced price and adding additional content for those expansions through quarterly updates, meaning that the next big release is only ever a few months away. Wow, okay. I'm processing. Smaller expansions more frequently. So would that mean like every year an expansion and then like quarterly updates? So you have like a quote unquote expansion, basically a paid, basically paid content, and then updates for and additions for that paid content a couple more times throughout the year until they release the next mini expansion. That's interesting. I mean, I'm no matter what they do, I'm down. So I'm there. So this is big. This is exciting. The first release in an expansion cycle is the launch point for a new story arc, bringing with it 2 new open world maps, 2 strike missions, new gameplay and combat features, new masteries, and new rewards. In the following quarterly updates, we'll add another open world map, additional story chapters, challenge modes for the strike missions, a new fractal dungeon and challenge mode, new rewards, and additions to the new system introduced in that expansion. Once that expansion's story is complete, the next expansion will be just around the corner. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if they're going to stop doing elite specializations. Like the game is already so bloated with them already. That's got to be like so difficult. I wonder if they're going to just focus on like masteries and kind of be done with elite specializations. I don't know. Spring Roadmap. The next chapter of Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons arrives on February 28th. Oh my god. So this is going to be like more End of Dragons. So this is kind of starting this cadence of like not necessarily a living world. I wonder if they're still going to call it that, though this says unlike a living world release. Interesting. Okay, let me read this and then process here. The next chapter of Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons arrives on February 28th with familiar allies like Detective Rama and his hat at your side. You'll travel to a new location in Cantha and come face to face with a deadly foe that resides deep within the Jade Sea. That storyline will conclude a few months later with an update that introduces additional playable space to the map, adds meta events and boss encounters, and lays the groundwork for future to-be-announced adventures. Unlike a Living World release, all owners of Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons will gain access to this content, meaning there's no pressure to log in to unlock it and no gem cost for missed story chapter unlocks. That's fantastic. Right there. That is great. Oh my gosh, like the number of times that I have told people about well, if you're there when it releases, then you get it for free. But if you don't, then you have to buy it for gems. And don't worry, you don't have to play it. You don't even have to own the expansion. You just have to log into the event. Like I've said this so many times, and I don't even stream Guild Wars 2 regularly anymore. And like this is ingrained into my brain from telling people about this system that has been in place for so long. So this is so interesting that's just not going to be a thing anymore. I wonder what it means for past Living World episodes. I assume those are still going to be locked behind gems. Of course, there's a lot more ways to unlock those now. There's like bundles and like additions when you buy the expansions. You can add on Living World. And now with it being available through Steam, there's like complete collections. There's a lot of options now, a lot more than there used to be anyway. So hopefully this is just going to make it easier for players going forward. This is fantastic. I love this. And especially if those new expansions or mini expansions, if that's what we're calling them, are going to be cheaper, then you just like buy that and then you get all the like you don't have to worry about the logging in thing and missing stuff. That's fantastic. And look at this new art here. This looks like a mouth with like teeth right here. These are like ley lines. These are ley lines right here. Wow, this looks like a raid arena. I wonder if a strike mission is going to be here. These look like, oh, it looks like a mouth. It looks like inside a dragon. Oh my gosh. But there are no more dragons. Look at this. I don't know if this was like the dragon's influence, or I don't know. These little platforms here, absolutely like a raid or a strike mission or something. That's so cool. In the first half of the year, we'll release the Suwon Legendary Weapon Skin Variant Collection, 2 Profession Balance updates, a new Fractal Dungeon and Challenge Mode, and multiple updates for World vs. World. Additionally, we'll finish rolling out the DirectX 11 and Chromium Embedded Framework upgrades, which I believe is the making the trading post faster, and thus the gem store as well, which is good. And run our usual festival and bonus events. We also have some quality of life updates in the works, including a long requested feature that will allow you to queue up for PvE maps when they're full. Oh, interesting. Interesting. We might have a few surprises in store for you as well. What are the surprises? I want to know the surprises. Here's a high-level look at our upcoming releases. The timing for some of the updates and betas listed above will be announced closer to their release dates. February 14th, which is tomorrow, Profession Balance Update, World vs. World Objective Reward Scaling, Chromium Embedded Framework Upgrade. I'm really excited to see the response time once that goes live. February 28th, that's the big day. New Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons map and story content, Suwon Legendary Variant. March 28th, right after my birthday, Super Adventure Festival. April 18th, the DX11 upgrade is complete. That's going to be so nice. May 2nd, Profession Balance update. In the background, we'll be quietly working on what's to come in the second half of the year. We'll have more to share on that later. Wrap up. We're so excited about the next phase of Guild Wars 2, both the things we were able to share today and what's just over the horizon. The changes we've outlined will allow us to provide a better experience to our fans, release new content updates more consistently, and ensure that Guild Wars 2 will be around for many, many years to come. We'll see you in the game. Josh Grouch Davis, Game Director. Thank you so much, Grouch, and everybody who's working on all of this. Super exciting stuff. I love the change. I love that the idea of there being the expansion excitement more often is fantastic news to me. Having those named expansions, you know, especially if they come with like, you know, I don't know. To me, just like having a logo gets me excited. Like seeing the End of Dragons logo on things, like I get hyped. Like just the name, End of Dragons, Path of Fire, Heart of Thorns, right? And having that logo and like having it mean an expansion. So if they keep going with that, like that gets people hyped rather than like, oh, what episode of Living World season 4 are we in, right? Just a name and a logo alone can create hype. So I'm very excited to see how they market this new mini expansion idea they're going with, and just how they implement the releases. And it sounds like we're still going to get you know, just about the same number of releases as we were with Living World, coming out every 3 to 4 months. It was closer to 3 months, I think, with the actual Living World, but sometimes it could be stretched to 4 months. And from what it sounded like, they would release a mini expansion and then like every quarter, I think they said. So like every 4 months, or well, no, that's every 3 months. I can't math. I don't know. But it doesn't sound like we'll be waiting any longer for content. It's just going to kind of be a better structure. You'll have the excitement of a quote unquote expansion coming out, and then free updates to that expansion, just like Living World. But I think this is going to be a better way of going about it, marketing wise. We're so used to the Living World formula, and I think this is a great way to like mix things up, and to not have people worrying about logging in to get it, and you know, if you don't log in, you missed it. I think more than anything, it just served to kind of confuse and frustrate new players with having to pay for the previous episodes that they missed. It was like this kind of fear of missing out, as well as like, you know, oh wait, I missed stuff and wait, I have to pay for it, or so I think this is going to be a much better system with the oh wait, I have to pay for it because I missed it makes a lot more sense with an expansion, right? Like, well, it's an expansion, of course I have to buy it, right? And especially if it's at a lower price point, bundles can be at a lower price point. That just, I think, is going to be better for new players all around. So this is very exciting. I'm on board. I like this very much. And I'm looking very forward to seeing how it's implemented, how it's marketed, and where we go. The 28th is like not that long away. It's like 2 weeks away. Oh my gosh. And we're going to be going to somewhere new in Cantha and getting more story. That's really exciting. Like that's my favorite thing now, is the story and returning for it. So I'm here. I'm here for that. I'm very excited. And I love this transparency. I love the communication from the studio. It just makes me feel so much more confident in the game and where it's going. And just that the devs are excited about working on the game and excited to get these releases out to us, and that they care about the player's experience. And that it gives me a lot of confidence. So I'm excited. I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too. So thank you so much for listening to my thoughts, reading through this with me. I will see you guys in game on Twitch on the 28th. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one. Take care.